He holds a level of experience that is unparalleled.
How many of these graves would you say you've buried?
The old section, about 90% of them.
90% of the graves.
Yeah, I would say I've done thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Today, he's considered one of the leading experts in the field, and his advice is regularly sought after.
A brother called me. He said, brother, I have a cemetery I want you to dig. I said, you have a cemetery? Where? Like, unheard of. He goes, in Riverstone. I said, where the hell is Riverstone? So I drove up there on a Sunday, took the family in the forward drive for a drive. It's a long drive. Till I got the cattle and farms, and then I see this cordon fence, and it was this old cemetery, bro, old. And I see this Pakistani or Bangladeshi man standing there, mashallah, Allah Noor coming out of him. I said to him, Assalamualaikum, brother, I'm Ahmed Harachi, what can I do for you? Oh, brother, I worked for so many years back and forth with Blacktown Council to secure this cemetery for the Muslims. I want all our Muslims around the Blacktown and these areas to have somewhere to be buried. I said to him, brother, where are we going to start from? He said, brother, we start from the tree. And there was a tree there. He said, yeah, brother, just start right where the tree is. A couple of weeks later, I get a phone call. Brother Ahmed Harachi, yes, can you dig at Riverstone? I said, where's Brother Khan? His name was Muhammad Khan. He said, the funeral is for Muhammad Khan. La ilaha illallah. He was 61 years old. I buried him in the grave right near the tree, the first grave there. And I will never forget this guy because he worked so hard to get this cemetery that he was going to be buried in it first. Unbelievable, subhanAllah.
He put so much effort and he was rewarded. He was
was
the
rewarded.
first one to benefit from his own
His
good deed.
sadaqah came for him. He's buried in it, you know. Allahu Akbar. That's a story I'll never forget, man.
Up until this point, my entire interactions with Ahmed were incredibly moving, but I was still yet to find out what made his work so deeply moving. I knew this wasn't enough. I needed to know exactly what the realm of Ahmed was truly like. And this is when I did the unthinkable. Mum, if you're watching, please look away.
Are you ready for this?
No, but I'm going to do it.
Let's go.
I decided to have Ahmed demonstrate his work on me. Crazy, I know, but if anything was going to help me grasp his work, it was this.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just cold.
I can pull. It's meant to be cold.
As it took place, I told myself I wouldn't speak the entire time and would try my best to immerse myself into the process. It was going to take some work, but I had to do it. So I stayed quiet, absorbed myself into the moment, and internalized everything taking place.
Well, my brother and sister, subhanAllah, we are prepared now to wash our deceased. They'll be shrouded in this shrouding right here. This is the final clothing. The sidr has been added.
I felt disturbed.
The water temperature is warm.
I felt out of place.
We make intention by saying the brother's name. And our brother here, Kamal, we're going to say, Nawaitu an ughassiluhu insha'Allah.
I felt uncomfortable, as though someone was invading my personal space.
Always we go right side to left.
I wanted to escape, but I couldn't. There were times I wanted to move, to tell him to stop, to not cover my mouth, to not leave the soap in my eye. But I let it be. After all, the dead cannot speak.
You can see this is the kampur here. It's got a very unique smell to it. It's called the smell of death.
For in that moment, I was just a body, to be washed, shredded, shrouded and buried. A journey every human being will be taken through. And it was a thought I couldn't get out of my head.
كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق.
I felt as though I was performing a video that would help inspire or awaken others.
So this is it, my brothers. This is the ending.
I felt I would be desensitized by the cameras and not be able to immerse myself in the event. But after all was done, I realized how incredibly naive I was.
See?
It hit me,
That's just good.
and it hit me hard.
Well, I don't know what to say.
There's not much you can say.
The whole time sitting there, just like,
Allahu Akbar, you make me cry, man. I knew you were going to wake up after it. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
the whole time I'm just saying, أرجو رحمتك. أرجو رحمتك.
Allahu Akbar.
أدخلني.
But you just had a glimpse, a taste of a reality that we're all going to go through. It's not something that's far-fetched here. This is reality, my brother. This table you sat on has had the biggest and the smallest of people.
You think about the books closed, the deeds are closed, the bad deeds closed, the good deeds closed. Khalas, no more deeds, but Ya Allah, it's all in your hands now. And Arju Rahmatak, I want your mercy. I just want your mercy. And you told us you're Rahman, you told us you're Rahim. You told us that you're those that believe, those that do good deeds will enter His mercy. And I just want to enter His mercy.
I just thought to myself, how many people have been on this table haven't been able to come back and tell us these exact words, because that would have been the words that would have came out of them. Allah tells us in the Quran that these people say, bring me back so I can do salih. Bring me back. And this is exactly what you just said in those words.
It was a moment I would never forget. Later that night, I received a call from Ahmed. He was checking up on me to make sure I was coping in the evening, but I soon learnt that this was a tradition Ahmed would follow religiously. You see, whenever he would help a family bury their loved one during the day, he would always make sure to call them later in the evening. Perhaps it was one of the secrets that made his work resonate with so many people.
Alhamdulillah, look, I believe in life, anything you do with a passion, anything you do with a passion, anything you do with your heart, you should be doing it so good because you're actually doing it because you love doing it. You know, and I feel like the role I do, it's a role that I'm going to go through. One day I will be the subject in that. So I look at it as, wow, Allahu Akbar, I'm role playing every single day, my turn.
By the end of my time with Ahmed, I had not only found out how a former bodybuilder became a world-famous mortician, but I found a story of a man who embodies dedication, love, consistency, and an insane level of commitment. Whether he was bodybuilding or burying bodies, he has become an icon for all the right reasons.
Do you ever think about the day someone's going to have to bury you in the grave?
Yeah, I do think of the day it happens. And all I can think about is I pray to Allah, through the mercy of Allah, have done enough to not even care about one thing about this world anymore. That this world will not mean anything to us anymore. That we're in a much better place.
May Allah reward our brother Ahmed, the Muslim undertaker, in this life and the next. Ameen.